What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks to add to your watch list going into this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, there's a lot of big ones coming out this week that really could push the market to a little bit higher highs. And in a lot of cases, the stocks that I'm going to be talking on, they're rather overextended. So already that could put them in a little bit more of an interesting scenario. But Thursday, we do have GDP, PCE on Friday, a lot of Fed speakers, and most likely a lot of them will reiterate what Powell has been stating, that interest rates might not be coming anytime soon, but the economy is relatively strong. So you might gain some good momentum because of that. But starting off with stock number 5, you do have ticker RGC sitting at $58.63 over the last 1 year, up a very impressive 1,426% over the last 1 month alone, 1,200 pretty much over that. So absolutely amazing stuff. This is what they do, so feel free to pause it and read through it. So based out of Hong Kong, but shorts have been very reactive as well. So it went from around 0.23% short interest to 19.4. Cost to borrow average is 869.9%. That is a annual rate, not a daily rate. That would be insane, but it does work out to be 152,000 shares overall being shorted. So this is exactly what the market likes to squeeze. Low float, heavily shorted, and short score on a side note is 81.18. So based on my previous videos, a lot of them do have huge runs. Might not necessarily have mother of all short squeeze kind of scenarios, but the circumstances of just the price appreciating, a lot of shorts really betting against that and doubling down, that does make for a very positive return. So again, this is why you need to add to your watch list. Always go back to a lot of my previous videos just to kind of see how they played out, and you'll see most of them do go up a considerable amount. But one thing to take note of as well is through IBKR does indicate that there's roughly around 65 lonely shares available to be shorted. And the reason why I bring that up is typically a lot of institutions, big money, likes to buy this just to lend out. So when there is a desire for them, then you're going to have big money like BlackRock, Vanguard buying this up. So again, adding a whole new level of buying pressure. So this is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, ticker is CRVO sitting at 14.29 over the last 1 year, down 36.43%. But over the last 1 month, up 519.96%. There's a lot of good information here on a side note that I recommend pausing and going through. But essentially, company profile, this is what they do. So biotech, 15 employees, based out of good old Boston in the States. But right here, 27.91% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.62 million shares. It is on the threshold list, and it looks like it has been on the threshold list only a couple days ever since March the 19th. So typically that does mean whenever a stock's on that for 13 consecutive days, SEC should be going after the market makers to get them to rectify it, but most likely won't be coming this week. It'll be the following one. Cost to borrow average is 692.93%, very high stuff. Short score 81.61, and just as you can kind of see, shorts have been very reactive to the share price going up. So they went from roughly 17.94% to 34.8 being the high. Through IBKR, it does indicate roughly around 10,000 shares is available to be shorted. And this is actually a good example of what I'm talking about, how it goes from 3 to 7 to 10. That is big institutions buying. Small amounts, of course, but of course, if it does gain some good momentum, yeah, it could obviously continue to happen. But this is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, ticker is PHAT, sitting at $6.23 over the last 1 year, down 31.99, and then over the last 1 month, it is up 10.66%. Over the last 5 days, though, up 40%. So definitely gets some good momentum for that. This is what they do. So Pharmaceuticals, 427 employees based out of the US. Short score is 82.44, so the higher the number, again, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. 26.04% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 14.49 million shares. Despite the recent price action, shorts haven't really been doing all too much. They've been kind of maintaining roughly around that 25% range. It looks like since roughly December for the most part. There's a lot of other good information up top here that I recommend you pausing and going through, but DTC, higher the number, essentially the bigger the potential squeeze. So being 12.73 days is very, very high. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 250,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is stock number 3 that you need to add to your watch list. Moving on to stock number 2, ticker is NVFY, sitting at 64 cents. Over the last 1 year, down 65.19, and then over the last 1 month, gaining some pretty good traction, up 5.68, and then 31% over the last 5 days. This is what they do. So home furnishings based out of Commerce, out of the States, but 21.28% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 989,000 shares. So again, low float, heavily shorted, what the market likes to see. Cost to borrow average is 89.6. Shorts have really been reactive, so it went from 0.5% short interest to where it is now. So shorts are trying to suppress it, not really working all too well, but again, with a lot of good momentum in the broader market and optimism, you could see a pinch essentially, but short score is 83.02, and then through IBKR does indicate roughly around 10,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is stock number 2. And last but not least, stock number 1 is ticker is LAZR, and this one's been fairly popular lately. I've seen a lot of PR about it, but on Friday alone, it went up 32.96%. Over the last 1 year, down 68.7. So definitely gaining some pretty good traction recently. Over the last 5 days, up 37.97. But this is what they do. So automotive parts and equipment based out of good old Orlando, Florida in the States, but 31.66% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 7.73 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 195.22%. Short score is 90.76. So that's what I'm doing the top 5 based on. So this is the highest one right now out there. Shorts have really doubled down like recently over the last couple of months. So in December, it was at 21.16, and then obviously right now is 31.66. So shorts have really been getting in. Based on this, though, it does indicate roughly around 25,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is another interesting stock. A lot of them already do have some pre-existing good momentum going into this week. Shorts are overextended in many of the cases, so if we get some good data, this is where kind of crap could hit the fan for shorts. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Is there any other short squeeze stocks that you feel could have a little bit more positive momentum this week? If so, throw some tickers in the description below. Hopefully everyone has a kick-ass weekend. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.